I represent the Department of Fisheries and Marine Research, which is responsible for the establishment and for monitoring of the aquaculture farms in Cyprus. I work in the aquaculture division, where my primary focus is on the thorough monitoring and regulation of the aquaculture activities in Cyprus. Initially, aquaculture was partially covered by the fisheries legislation. However, in the mid-1990s, there was an increased interest from investors in marine offshore aquaculture. As this farming system was new to the country, this created a problem due to the limited knowledge and expertise we had on the environmental impacts. Because of that, the need to establish a regulatory framework specifically for the development and operation of marine aquaculture was created. The development process of the legislation was conducted primarily by our department. However, there were public consultations and discussions with other relevant authorities and key stakeholders. Once the draft was ready, the proposed legislation was presented to all stakeholders. Key stakeholders include other relevant government services and departments, such as the Department of Environment, the veterinary services, port authorities, the Department of Merchant Shipping, town planning authorities, and various organizations, including the Association of Fish Farmers, NGO, and other representatives of society. Once the consultation concluded, the final proposal was presented for approval to the Council of Ministers and forwarded to the Parliament for examination and approval. During the process of establishing the legislation, we have encountered several challenges. One was convincing the aquaculture companies that the extra cost arising from the obligation to submit twice a year an environmental monitoring report would be an investment for the future. This was established through several rounds of discussions and by explaining the benefits in terms of improving the image of responsible aquaculture, as well the prospects for future expansion. It was also a challenge to develop an environmental monitoring protocol that would provide the necessary data in order to be able to correctly assess the effects on the environment at the lowest possible cost. Our department developed the protocol based on its expertise and knowledge of the marine environment. It is very important to mention that the legislation allows us to modify the protocol if needed in order to make it more efficient and cost-effective. The establishment of an aquaculture-specific legislation helped provide a secure environment for investors, as all the necessary processes were laid down clearly. Also, the establishment of a mandatory environmental monitoring program provided a real-time and long-term assessment of the environmental impact. Since our department is responsible for assessing the monitoring reports, it was shown to be a useful management tool for revising development policy, as well as for taking immediate corrective measures when needed. Our experience showed that for the development of environmentally, financially, and socially sustainable aquaculture, the establishment of an aquaculture-specific legislation is of great importance. The transparency it provides can have a vital role regarding the environmental and social aspects of aquaculture development, improving the image of the sector. The process might be long and tedious, however. We strongly believe that our legislation is the main reason that Cyprus aquaculture has grown to the extent it has today.